Well, hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Peter Testor, and I'm going to be your instructor for this semester, the class of HOS 255, Hospitality Human Resources Management, and that is the boring title. Let's go with the exciting title of Employee Relations and Activities within the Hospitality Industry. Going to be an exciting course. We're going to talk about a lot of fun things, a lot of serious things, a lot of things that we need to pay attention to as we develop our employees, as we transfer from being an employee to a manager, from a lower manager to an upper manager to a senior level manager. We're going to study all that fantastic stuff. And we're going to learn about the ins and outs of how to deal with employees, employee appraisals, employee evaluations. We're going to discuss the discipline process. So all the not so fun things about being a manager that sometimes that we have to deal with. Some of the course objectives that we're going to discuss during the semester. Identify labor market forces affecting the service industry in general and the hospitality industry in particular. We're going to talk about how to develop a human resources strategy to create and maintain a positive organizational structure. We're going to discuss how to develop and implement individual and group training programs. Extremely important to continue to increase your employees' skill set to get them ready for the next level, to make sure that you're continuing to develop your staff. We're going to talk about how to motivate and communicate with employees. We're going to talk about how to explain the elements of wage and benefit administration, lower costs and liabilities through health and safety programs, how to create effective discipline and termination procedures. This is probably the least fun piece of being a manager, but the one of the most important pieces as well. We're going to discuss, how to handle that employee, how to mentor them. In this particular course, I'm going to focus on the discipline process being a coaching opportunity rather than a process to terminate some employees. There are those folks that unfortunately you can go through this process and it just will not work. You will not get the outcome that you desire. But at the end of the day, the point of a discipline process is to help correct the behavior, not to terminate them. A lot of people think that the discipline process, the goal is to terminate the employee. That should always be the last and final resort to any type of employee situation. And then we're going to discuss how to identify legal and practical concerns in dealing with unauthorized and with ununion and non-union employees. This can also be a very difficult environment to navigate, but we're going to discuss some of the ins and outs of that as I have a lengthy history in both at-will employment, union environment, and then the state classified system that we work under here in Colorado. So that is the fun and exciting topics that we're going to talk about here in this course of human resource management. This course is going to be very HR related, but at the same time, it's going to be more managerial, supervisory procedures and processes and pieces like that. We're not going to be approaching this from a HR director of a large company or organization. This is going to be more focused as, dining room manager, general manager, chef, events coordinator, things like that. Things within the hospitality industry is what we're going to be focusing on. And typically those don't have the large HR operations background, like an HP or, an OtterBox or a Kraft or a larger company like that would have. So that's what we're going to do this semester. We're going to try to keep it as fun as possible. Some of this information can be a tad bit dry, but we're going to keep it engaging. We're going to keep it exciting. I'm going to expect a lot of engagement through discussions. This is a hybrid course, so we'll meet once a week. We'll have class for an hour and a half. We'll do lecture. We'll have discussion, opportunity to answer any type of questions that you want. And then we're going to spend the other half of the class throughout the week on D2L, participating in discussions. We're going to be doing quizzes and other various projects. My discussion requirements are that you and make your initial post by Wednesday of that week, discussing the topic that's presented for that particular week. And then after that, you have until Sunday to make two comments on another student's post. These responses need to go farther than "good job." I really liked what you said. That was fantastic. You're really cool. We need to do some in-depth responses. I want to see some thought put into it. And the same thing with your initial post. One thing that we need to remember about some of the topics that we're going to discuss is some of the information can be subjective, can be, what we think. Sometimes you got to separate the emotional piece from the business piece, from the operational piece. So we're going to discuss those types of things and those different scenarios as we go through the course, and maybe pull on some of those emotions to see how we separate those emotional pieces from what the book says or what from technically we should do, because every situation is different, every person is different. We have to treat everyone as individuals. So some of these terms and processes will be a blanket for all staff, but some of the things we'll have to look at from an individual employee type situation. So that's what we're going to do. So the first discussion that we're going to do is I want everyone to, this is a two-part, so I got two different questions I want everyone to look at. One, I want to discuss what your experience is with HR to date, whether it be on the employer HR side of it or the employee HR side of it, different sides of the table. So whether you were the one administering whatever the HR process is, the experience you have, or you having that process administered to you, whether you were being evaluated, you were doing your your end of the year evaluation, performance appraisal, performance planning, or you're part of the discipline process, whatever the case may be. Let's discuss that. And then the second part to that first question is what industry it was in, and if that's the industry you plan to stay in. The second piece of this question is I want to hear three things that you liked about your favorite boss and three things that you didn't like about your worst boss. There's a reason why we're going to talk about these things. So the first piece is I want to hear about your HR experience, either side of the table, what industry it was in, and if you plan to stay in that industry. And the second question is three things about your favorite boss and three things about a boss you've had that you did not care to work for. Again, let's get those posted. Let's do some fun and exciting discussions this semester. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. And I wish you all a great semester, and we'll see you in class. And, have a good week. Thank you.